after there has been an encounter with God, there should be a difference in you. After there has been an encounter with God. That's why I know some of y'all have just had an experience and not an encounter. I'm looking for my exit because I know y'all didn't like that. You have had simply an experience with it. You haven't had an encounter. An encounter leaves a lasting impression, an indelible impression. It is etched in the recesses of your mind. You can never forget that encounter. You remember your first kiss? That was an encounter. Okay, y'all ain't saying man like y'all ain't never been kissed before. Y'all better say man. You remember the first one. Amen. Good, bad, or indifferent. You remember his name, where it happened, her name, where it happened, and what they looked like. If it was good, bad, or indifferent, you didn't know no better then. Come on, somebody. Say amen. So we can tell by some things that you have had an encounter with some things. They have left an indelible impression on you, and we can see the results of that impression or that encounter that you have had. And it is the same way with the Lord. It is the same way with Christ. I'm going somewhere with this. It is the same way with Christ. We ought to be able to see the fruit of the Spirit if you claim to be a Christian. We ought to be able to see some inference of Christ. If you are going to be Christian, then you must be Christ-like. So we must be some Christ characteristics that we need to see in you. You can't cuss people out and claim that you got Christ-like tendencies. Now, if you told me you turned over the table in the temple and cast out some demons, then I say, therefore, I have concluded by the evidence that you are a Christian. But if you just cussing folk out at the house, hello somebody, I cannot conclude that you are a Christian. I can conclude that you are indeed a work in process and that you may be a believer. So y'all didn't come to Bible study. You would have known that there's a difference between a believer and a Christian. The alcoholic can believe there is a God. The drunk can believe there is a God. The whoremonger can believe there is a God. The whore can believe there is a God. But to have Christ-like tendencies is a whole nother thing.